students. Our today's topic is Indian development after the independence with a planning, uh, 5-year plannings from 1950 to 1990. That is, for 40 years, we are going to understand the achievements, goals of 5-year plannings. So, the 5-year planning concept was taken by India after the huge success of this 5-year planning in USA. USSR, that is USSR. In contemporary Rus, after the Russian revolution in 1917, the contemporary socialist government in USSR adopted this 5-year planning in 1928. And in that 30 years, up to the 1950s and 55s, Russia has made a leap step development in the world. And that leap step development was due to this 5-year planning. So, India also, after the independence, decided to take the 5-year planning. But before going to the planning, we should define what is the planning, what is 5-year planning. The central objective of planning in India is to initiate the process of development which will rise the living standard and open out the people new opportunities to make their status upgrade. So, the economic planning means utilizing the available resources of the economy in a best way that the optimum uses of the resources can be made so that the economy achieve fast economic development. So, ultimate goal of the 5-year planning was to achieve fast economic development of a country. When India get the independence, India has to select what type of economy he have to select. So, there was a confusion among the economists, politicians, what type of economy should be selected. The answer was the open market economy or a controlled economy, or a market economy or a controlled economy. So, answer rest on 3 questions. Ki the available resources should be allotted in what way? It means the resources of a country should be distributed or allotted in what way? The questions are, what goods should be produced and to whom it should be produced and how it should be produced. Means the allocation of the resources should be made to whom, how, and by what technology. So, if the answer goes that the goods should be preferred to produce for the person who can pay more, or the goods produced by such a technology which gives the maximum profit, or the goods should be produced for the needy people or for the rich people. So, answers of these questions are different in the socialist economy and capitalist economy. Capitalist economy wishes that the goods should be produced for the richer person, luxurious goods should be preferred, and technology or a machine technology should be preferred to decrease the cost. But in a socialist economy, answer to these questions are different. In a socialist economy, the goods are preferred which gives the welfare of the maximum members of the society. And the socialist economy prefers the technology by which the maximum employment can be created, and the socialist economy wishes to produce the goods for the needy people who don't have a more purchasing power to get that goods from the market. So, India set up a central authority known as Planning Commission in 1950. The 1950, the chairperson of the Planning Commission was ex officio, that is Prime Minister of India will always the ex officio of the Planning Commission, and there will be a vice president, vice chairman in the Planning Commission with many specialists. So, the Planning Commission started to think that India should not avail only the socialist economy or the capitalist economy. He found that for making a fast economic development in India, he have to make a third economy, which is known as mixed economy. In the mixed economy, there was a merits of socialism, the socialist economy, and also it merged the merits of the capital economy. In a socialist economy, the production factors are owned by the government and the decisions are absolutely in the hand of central or state government. But in a capitalist economy, the private sector is found and they own the factor of productions and they have to accelerate the economic growth by their own ways. In the mixed economy, the Planning Commission decided that areas which will be owned by the public sector or the government and the areas which will be owned by the private sector. And there was another area where the collaboration can be found with the central government or state government, with the government and the private bodies. There are many enterprises where the central government or a government and private sector coexist and makes their effort to make the economic development. Now coming to the goals of 5-year plan. 5-year plans have two types of goal: long-term goal and short-term goal. This planning, 5-year planning, was started from the 1st April 1951 to 31st March 1956 and onwards, except 2 or 3 year plannings. We will study that year in the further. So planning, 5-year planning goals for the 5-year or for all the years, for a long term, for 2030, especially we are studying here for 7 5-year plans. For the 7 5-year plans, the goals were different, and from 8 onwards the goals were different. The long term goals were modernization, self-reliance, growth, equality, and so on. We will study these goals one by one. First, the growth. Growth and development are two different words with almost sometimes they are considered as the same, but they have some difference in them. Growth is a increase in the GDP, physical output, whereas development refers the growth with structural development, structural change with equality. In fact, development is a broader concept than growth. So, growth in the economy was defined by the GDP, that is gross domestic product. GDP is the monetary value of all the goods and services produced in the economy in one accounting year, that is GDP. So, the GDP increase in the GDP was one of the major challenge for the planning commission. For the first planning, that yearly planning in 1950, India's total budget was 387 crore rupees approximate. And before the independence or after the independence, when there was a partition of India and Pakistan, Pakistan also have the debt of India, a share of the debt of India was also divided into two countries. The major part of debt was with India and a small part goes with the Pakistan. At that time, at contemporary time, Pakistan owes the international debt of 300 crore rupees. But by its liberal heart, India declared that the debt of Pakistan will be paid by Indian government. Means the 300 crores of Pakistan was paid by the India. So, the growth of GDP was one of the major challenge for the India at that time, because just after the independence, India do not have any infrastructure to increase its GDP. 75 to 80% of its income was coming from agriculture, which was in the poor stage. 10% was coming from service sector, and 15 to 10% was the contribution of the service sector in the GDP at the contemporary time after the independence. So, the increase in the GDP was organized by agriculture first. India makes the strategical changes in the planning so that the GDP should be increased in a systematic way, in which the contribution of the secondary sector and tertiary sector should be increased. The economy is called backward, where the agriculture sector contributes more, and the economy is considered as a developed economy where the service sector contributes more in the GDP. Right now, 45% of GDP is contributed behalf of the service sector, but at that contemporary time of 1950s, the service sector was contributing only to 10 to 15%. Other than this GDP, one more factor remains, that is per capita income. Per capita income is the income of every citizen, of a one person in a country, that is derived from the total GDP of a country in 1 year divided by total population of the country in 1 year. So, the GDP was very low at the time of independence and post-independence time. So, Planning Commission or Indian government has another challenge to increase the GDP. The next problem, a goal decided by the Planning Commission was the employment. After the independence, the youth was unemployed. They don't have a direct or indirect employment. They have a hidden employment in the agriculture. 75% population was directly or indirectly involved in the production of agriculture, and this agriculture has a hidden unemployment. The people required for the agriculture for the purpose of cultivation or different sides of agriculture was less, but more peoples were involved in the agriculture. Service sector do not have any opportunities because the opportunities was not provided by the Britishers. The manufacturing sector, India do not have the much infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, so employment in the agriculture was more. Manufacturing and service sector employment was very less, there was no opportunities. So India have to decide to increase the employment opportunities after the independence by this 5-year planning.